What if it works? What if it works? So, usually, when we are doing something or making a decision about something, we're always thinking, well, what if it doesn't work, right? Well, what if I can't do that, or I don't have the money, or it's not feasible, or I can't make that move, or I can't, leave this relationship. I can't book this trip. All of those, we're always thinking about the what if it doesn't work, right? Or I go and I take this chance and it falls apart and I fail. What about changing the dynamic and the story to, well, what if it does work? We never go about it that way. Why don't we ever go about it that way? What if it does work? What if the business you want to do ends up being highly successful and bringing you a lot of joy and happiness? What if leaving that marriage that is bringing you down and holding you back and divorcing that person works because you finally have freedom and happiness and you open up the space to meeting the person who is right for you? What if the selling of your home um, works and you get the price that you want, or maybe even more than you were asking for? I had a friend who recently sold her house and she got above asking price. So what if it works? We're never asking that question. Our mind automatically goes to, what if it doesn't, right? That's where we go. That's what we're always about. Like, well, this is, we can think of a million and one problems of how it's not going to work, but we never say, well, what if it works? Let's say you want to do a new health kick and you found a program that sounds interesting to you, but meanwhile you've been through so many of them and they've never worked before. But what if you change the story and say, well, what if this time it works? What if this is the one that's good for my body, right? Or this is big, especially if you're single and you're dating. Most women, I mean, most of my friends are women. I have some men friends that I guess it applies to them too. We have these ideas like, oh, I'll never meet anybody on these dating profiles. They all suck, right? What if it doesn't? What if you meet somebody on there? I know a couple of people who are very happily paired up who have met on dating profiles. What if it works? I think changing our story is really important in how things show up in our lives. Not that I think, I know it does, right? That's what manifestation is. That's what the law of attraction is. So instead of thinking of all of the reasons why it won't work, why it will fail, why you can't do it, change the narrative and start just saying, what if it does work? Just put that out there. I mean, I think that we can all do that. We can all be a little bit comfortable in saying, what if I can do it? What if this plan does work? What if this move is the move for me? What if buying that house ends up bringing me nothing but joy? We can start saying, what if? And then behind the what if, think of all the good things that you can imagine will work, instead of saying what if and then going down the negative rabbit hole of all the disasters that could happen, because we already know all the disasters that could happen and many of us have had many disasters. But I don't think we think enough, what if it could work? What if I could create that? What if I could write that book? What if I could sell my movie? What if I could, fill in the blank, have the love of my life, whatever it is? Just saying. So start with the what if and then say, what if it could work? And see how that changes things for you. Because I know personally it's changed things for me. All right. See you next time.